You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
And welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. The United States Secret Service is warning everyone about a rise in incel threats right here in the United States. This is a group of men, a group of vicious men. They usually want to date women, but are rejected and they can't, and therefore they end up hating women to the point of physical violence. The Secret Service points out that these reports have been on the rise since 2014. You may be asking yourself, what in the hell is an incel?
So incel can be defined as somebody who is an involuntary celibate person. Usually they are men, not that they cannot be female, but usually they are men. And not only that, they are people who are very scared and very, unable to have a relationship. And despite even trials, they are unable to get a romantic or sexual relationship.
And really quick, before we go on, Dr. Shaw, what's important for the viewer to get is that you said involuntary celibate, meaning when they can't find women who want to have sex with them, or at least in their minds, they're so awkward with society that they have not been able to find a woman to date, and they become very, very vindictive, mean as a result of that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. But the difference here, like you said, is that they are involuntary and they have a desire to have a relationship. It's not that the desire is not there, because celibate people are the one who choose not to have a relationship. Here, they are celibate, but they don't want to be celibate. The desire is there. They want to have a sexual romantic relationship, but they're unable to have because of whatever they believe they have. They feel that people would not like them. They feel abandoned, all those things. A lot of time they come from families of broken homes. They come from times when there is abuse in the family or some relationship issues when they're growing up, all those things. So all those things compass this whole phenomena of incel. And again, this is something which the term has been out since maybe early 90s. So almost 30 years, nothing very new. And what you're mentioning about linking it to extremism or linking it to any, aggression or so. Yes, we have seen in some cases, and that's what the report you're talking about, that in some cases, people who have extreme hatred towards women or so have committed some of these crimes. It doesn't mean that every incel would be like that, but yes, it has been found in certain cases that people who have this hatred towards women or are incel have been involved in these crimes.
I think the most recent one that we've seen was Scott Beerley, and they used him as an example, a man who shot up a yoga class in Tallahassee, Florida back in 2018, killing 2 women and injuring 4 others. If you see signs of someone being an incel, what should you do as a family member, as a friend, in order not only to help them, but to protect yourself, especially if you're female?
That's the most important thing you're saying, because a lot of time, if you look deeply and interview people who are incel, they may have underlying depression, they may have underlying anxiety, they may have underlying PTSD, they may have some underlying issues going on. And if we address those issues, their fear of this relationship or their involuntary incel can be treated. So we need to get them some sort of help if they are willing to get help. And a lot of times we can make them a productive citizen and they can have a relationship. So it is not that this is something which cannot be treated, this is something which cannot get help. They usually can get help provided they're willing to get help.
Now, in Scott Beerley's case, the one who shut up the Tallahassee yoga class, he was also profiled as being racist, homophobic, misogynistic. And are those some of the characteristics you should look for in these individuals, or it's not one size fit all?
Yeah, it is definitely not one size fits all. I mean, of course, you will see in some, but not necessarily. Like I said, the most common feature you will see is that most incels are male, mostly they're heterosexuals, and that's the most important thing. But it doesn't mean that they will have those egocentric ideas or so, not necessarily. A lot of time they have self-pity on themselves. They feel kind of that nobody likes them. Sometimes they have entitlement also. So they can have either or. One size cannot fit all.
All right, Dr. Asim Shah, fascinating topic. The U.S. Secret Service says this is a growing threat here in this country, these individuals. And I know there are groups, they even call themselves incel groups. So go figure.